I'm going to make a statement that is going to challenge how many people think about success in this space of group homes. So hear me clearly. I believe that homes that fill up fast and push to fill up fast can also still fail people. And I say that because many of us have this conception that when we fill a property fast, that we are successful. But I'm going to challenge you today because in many ways you are not. So welcome to Live for Free, where we transform lives through transitional housing that's not just about having a bed, but it's about building a bridge for people who want to be sustainable. And I'm going to talk today specifically about filling your rooms and filling your group homes fast, because that is a conception that I want to challenge you with today. Because many people think that when you have a full group home, that you have a healthy home. You have a healthy program. They also believe that when you have high occupancy, that means that the people in there are just being served beautifully and well. Well, guess what? That's not always so. I have seen homes that were completely full and they have failed every person inside of them. I've been in this space for over 15 years, and I can tell you from the outside, looking in, it might look good on the outside, but I'm telling you, many times it is not. Your beds can be full, you can have money coming in, even having it nice and quiet, but inside, the people could be unraveling. Now, I will say it does depend on the population that you're talking about. Not every population this applies to. So if you're dealing with people who might be dealing with some disabilities and, they just want to sit in a place and be able to exist, that's probably the best situation. But even still, you can have challenges in that too. I'm speaking specifically about the group homes, and people are out here in this space talking about being able to serve people who are coming out of incarceration, serving people who are dealing with recovery, dealing with people who are fleeing from domestic violence. I hear all kinds of housing situations that people are getting into, and they're saying, fill your home fast, fill it fast, fill it fast. And I'm going to say, no, don't do that. Because we're not just talking about homes. We're talking about people who are flesh and blood that have feelings, people who come from different walks of life. And when you have different people coming into an environment that you don't fully understand, you cannot have that be your focus. So when those things are happening, you tend to make the wrong mistakes. You take the wrong position and you'll make the wrong decision related to those individuals. Now, as we look at this, and the reason why I'm starting here is because there is an unspoken assumption that if you fill a home quickly, it must be doing something right. And that assumption I know is wrong, and it has consequences. So when you're filling your beds and that's like your goal, the program starts orienting itself around pressure instead of preparation. You make decisions that begin to serve financial relief rather than long-term outcomes. And the residents that you have coming in here are entering into environments that were never built to carry the level of transition they're being asked of them. So let me explain what I mean. When you're looking at transitional housing, it is not just housing with a timeline. Now, we're talking clearly about transitional housing, not just individuals who are being warehoused. So I want to make sure we have a clear understanding. I'm talking about helping transition people into another place. Now, if you're just simply talking about warehousing people, that's a whole nother conversation. And what I specialize in is housing that transitions people, not warehouses people. So when you want to really help people move from one state of being to another, it is important that you are intentional as you put this housing model together. You have to consider what their needs are. You have to think about who it is that you're serving. You have to literally take them through a process of unlearning the survival patterns that they had before they came to you. And that takes time. And so when you focus solely on money, you focus solely on filling beds, you sort of lose that. You miss the opportunity to be able to create something that's going to build some structure, some responsibility, and stability that they need. Because these are people who need stability, and it all needs to be done at the same time. And that requires clarity around what you're building. It requires the consistency that you want them to have, and it requires leadership that is not reactive. So if you find yourself in this space and you see yourself as wanting to be a leader in this space, then you can't be reactive because your place is empty. You can't be reactive because you are 1 or 2 beds from being full. You have to make the right decisions related to the individuals that you are serving. Because when your home rushes to fill beds, those elements are usually the first things that are sacrificed. And we don't want to sacrifice all because of money. Your intake becomes more of a surface level. You end up creating issues and red flags that can pop up that you could have avoided had you not rushed. But our goal is to create something that is going to set expectations of what you want the individuals coming into your program to receive. And I will tell you, when you do that, your program will suffer. What you're creating will suffer. And I have watched residents who move into these homes believing that one thing is going to happen, only to discover it's completely different than what they have when they get there. Because the rules are going to feel arbitrary. You're going to have not the level of accountability that each person needs to feel, and you're going to lack the structure necessary to be able to create what you want to create. You want to create support, not punishment. You want to be able to create things that's going to help people be successful and not to fail. So that's why I stress so urgently, those of you who are walking into this space, you're wanting to get into this type of housing model, and you're doing it for the wrong reasons, because you will be setting these individuals up for failure. You will set them up to not be successful. And that is my goal. Now, I'm sitting here sharing this because I've learned from experience. Been doing this a long time, and I recognize some of my failures entering into this space. And when those things start happening and when those things start snowballing, it is hard to be able to come back from that. You really have to make sure you're focused on the right reasons for why you are placing people in your housing, because it will fail, and it will quietly fail. Slowly by slowly, you will move down a path where it will fail. So, as you consider what I'm saying right now, I want to encourage you that as you are becoming a leader in this space, I want you to consider what you can do to derail yourself from going down that path. Because every decision you make as it relates to that property may seem urgent to you, but you make the right decision and not focus on just the vacancies that you might have. Because those things most people get into immediately, feeling like, oh my gosh, I've got to do something because I'm bleeding in this house. But if you take your time and you do it the right way and don't focus on filling it fast, I assure you, you will be able to create success for yourself. Now, I say these things because I've got this amazing community that we have where we are teaching operators the right way to set up properties that are compliant, that follow a process and are aligned with guidelines that are created to create success for people, not to put them in a situation where you have to sacrifice their safety or sacrifice their structure to be able to have it. And income is not going to be your driver. It is actually going to be the byproduct of what you're creating. So you can still create success for yourself and still create that stewardship around what you're building for the people who are coming into your housing model. Now, as I said earlier, I want you looking at a program that will help be a bridge for people, bridging them from where you have them in your housing into something more permanent. And guess what? There are so many other opportunities you can build for them there. versus just simply warehousing people and moving from property to property and focusing just on setting up a property and moving to the next. I promise you, this can work. So when you come and join our community, you can find us at tonyschool.com. That's TONISKOOL.com. And when you join, we are working right there with you to help you execute the things that you need to do to set up a sustainable, successful, structured program that you are fully prepared for, and the individuals who are in your housing will love you for what you give them as a result of what you create. And I look forward to seeing you in our community. So if you like what you heard or you wanted to make some comments, feel free to share with me some comments. I'd love to be able to work with you, share with you, and see how we can help you create something that is not only sustainable, but you can create legacy that's built on something solid, not just on money. And I look forward to seeing you then.